See, in very rare occasions, the northern lights, they actually turn scarlet.
Aye, the same colour as my face and I'm seen in public with you.
Hello and welcome to the Glesga Dad podcast. Coming up this week.
Everybody's up the campsies. It was like dogging on steroids, right?
See, it was 11 o'clock, they said, and I thought, I'm in my bed by 9:30.
You go to your bed at 7 o'clock, you maniac. Take up at 5 to bleach your arse.
See, the particles hit the earth at 45 million miles an hour.
Fucking hell, that's definitely 6 points in your licence.
So this week, we're talking about everything the Northern Lights. So we just had them, didn't we?
Aye, just at the weekend there, we had the Northern Lights were seen in Glesga. Now, I, as you know, fucked off up the campsies and had a swatch at them. And what was amazing, everybody's up the campsies. It was like dogging on steroids, right? I mean, there must have been hundreds of cars all the side of the road in the wee car park, but everybody's out, the Northern Lights, and it was pretty amazing. It was pretty amazing. So that's the third time I've seen the Northern Lights. The very first time I saw the Northern Lights, totally unexpected, I did a gig for the Shetland Football Association. So the gig was in Lerwick, but I wanted to fanny about Shetland, right? So I got a billet, I got some digs right up in Unst. So Shetland's an archipelago, umpteen islands, and you've got the main island, and then the island above it is the island of Yell, and the island of Unst, it's called. So you need to get 2 ferries when you got there. So I went right up to Saxavord in Unst, right at the top of the island, right? Mm-hmm. And there used to be a radar base, an RAF base there, which was a radar station, early warning for ICBMs, Russian nuclear missiles. And I stayed in a house, which was the old officers' houses. And I'm driving, and it's pitch black up there, right? I mean, it's fucking brilliant. There's no light. And it was like, they're called the curtains, right? They just came down, and it was as if curtains, green curtains, were flowing in the wind. I was astonished at it. I went, there's the fucking Northern Lights. I couldn't believe it. I'd never seen them before, but there they were. And by the way, there's no light pollution up there. And I saw the full colours. The colours were awesome. See, when
so
I was
swirls, it swirls.
No, it's like curtains blowing in the wind.
Right.
Right. Like they're rippling.
Left
and that's what it looked like. It was amazing. Because when I was up the campsies the other night there, you couldn't really see the colours very well because there's too many cars and headlights and going past and fucking messing with your eyes. Mm. So it made it difficult. But when I was up in Shetland, it was astonishing. And that was the first time I seen them. And that would have been about 10 years ago, 2014. And then, after that, I says, I need to see that again. That's just a thing. I love the Northern Lights. I know people say, oh, you see the Northern Lights, yeah, bam, right? I think it's amazing. I think the world's amazing. I think it's lovely, right? I went to Iceland, right? And don't get wide. Know the supermarket, the country. I went to the country of Iceland. I went to Reykjavik, right, which is the capital of Iceland. And I went on a boat out into the bay in just north of Reykjavik. And it was astonishing. I saw the Northern Lights right above me. Amazing. Just they're there. It's unbelievable.
You'd be raging though if you'd booked to go to Iceland and then never at the campsites. You'd be like, fuck.
I know if you went. I know you would be raging. You flew to Iceland at a horrendous expense because Iceland's expensive as well because everything has to be imported. right? So it's expensive for your lunch and dinner and a pint and all that, right? So you would be raging if you went about and you saw fuck all, and then you get a phone call. Hey, Dad, I'm up the Campsies. We're looking at the Northern Lights.
I'm just back for the five-a-side. And
I can guarantee you, if you can see the Northern Lights up the Campsies, you'll see them in Reykjavik, because what causes it is these solar storms where the particles fall into the atmosphere and disperse all over the Northern Hemisphere. So if you can see them in the Campsies, there's a fair scalp you'll be able to see them in Reykjavik. I think. I'm not a scientist, but I think.
see, it was 11 o'clock, they said, and I thought, I'm in my bed by 9:30.
You go to your bed at 7 o'clock, you maniac. Take up at 5 to bleach your arse. You would have seen him out the window where you live. You would have seen him out your window. Out your back window. Your house faces south, didn't it?
Yeah,
Right, out your back window.
I'd have seen them.
I guaranteed it. Guaranteed you would have seen them.
You did.
And there's no a lot of light pollution where you live.
No. You see the shooting stars quite a lot.
Yeah. So you would have seen it.
So I've missed it.
So you missed it.
I do want to see it eventually, though. I think I would do one of the cruises to see it.
Yeah, they don't always see them, though. They can't guarantee you'll see the Northern Lights. Because the truth is, I've been to Iceland twice. And the first time I went, I saw fuck all.
Let's see, if I was booked to go and see the Northern Lights, I'd want my refund if I never saw
No,
them.
no. We didn't get a refund. What it happens is when you book it, right, they say to you, now obviously the Northern Lights is not guaranteed, we can't even make them turn up. But if you don't see anything, you get 3 years to use the ticket again.
Wow.
So that's why I went back. No fucking bumping me. I want my boat ticket.
How do you know it's just not a wee guy outside with a projector screen? You're all like, this is great.
I think it'd be hard to project that sort of thing, but you don't know. You've got to take it on trust. I think at the end of the day, if somebody says to you, do you want to see the Northern Lights, and you look up and you see them, that's what they are, right? If there's some evil genius that's got a projector machine that can light up the whole of the sky over Iceland to get £15 off me, I think that guy's wasting his talents. But a lot of people say that what happened the other week in Scotland was caused by the HARP military installation. Do you know about this?
No.
HAARP. And what it is it's a transmission station in Alaska which has been built to manipulate the weather. So, for instance, in Dubai, right, they do a thing called cloud seeding. Have you heard of this?
No.
Right. Okay, a few weeks ago, Dubai was flooded. Do you remember?
Aye, bad.
A few weeks ago.
Airport. and
Dubai, fucking desert, Middle East, right? It was flooded. And what Dubai had been doing is they'd been cloud seeding. So they send planes up with flares, and they fire these flares off, and there's phosphorus and various things in the flares, and they seed the clouds and heat up and create moisture within the clouds to create rain. So that this is an unnatural way to create rain. And then they flood the whole fucking place. Now, I'm not saying the two things are linked, right? But if it doesn't rain in Dubai, and then you send planes up and constantly seed the clouds to make rain, and then it rains like fuck, is that cause and effect? So if I strike a match and the phone rings, have I made that happen? No. But if I lift my boot and it connects with somebody's buzz, did I cause the pain? The point is it metaphysical? Is it cause and effect? Nae rain, let's seed the clouds, rains like fuck. I don't know. Does one thing lead to another? No. I shag your ma, then you come along. That's the unintended consequence. Now the point is, so this HAARP, this HARP weather transmitter, I have a cousin who investigates these things, and some could say he's one of the tinfoil hat brigade, but he looks into it, and some people have said that the Northern Light phenomenon, as extreme as it was the other week, was caused by this station, because it is a fact that in the last week they had started doing weather experiments in Alaska. I don't know, you might want to check it out. It's all out there if you want to find it.
Is that how it's been really warm the past few weeks and then raining?
Well, don't shoot a messenger. That's what I'm saying. I'm only telling you what I've heard.
You're really into all these conspiracy theories, though.
No, I'm not into conspiracy theories. What I'm saying is, if it does the rain in Dubai and you start seeding the clouds and then the place gets flooded like fuck, well, I only see what I observe. What the fuck does that tell you?
Is there a way they can do it the other way so it stops raining here and we get the sun?
They can go up with a big super Henry Hoover and soak all the clouds in or something. I don't know, but I'm telling you what's happening.
Just a big massive bit of kitchen roll, just soaking it off.
Who knows? Right, I don't know, but that's a fact. They're cloud seeding in Dubai. They've been cloud seeding.
I never knew, and honestly, I'd never had a clue they were doing.
You know what I mean? It's like, if your balls are really sore at the point, I kick it. Me kicking you in the balls is nothing to do with you going to get that pain anyway. Fucking behave yourself.
So apart from the Northern Lights, what else have you seen that's been eye-opening for you?
Oh, fucking the woman across the road, man, and I saw her aurora borealis, right? when I was looking out my window, I saw her. My curtains were twitching.
So were hers, maybe.
Her curtains were open.
So I've never seen the Northern Lights, but it's not really something that interests me.
So what interests you?
Well, like rainbows and stuff, I'm not too. Not like, it's basically
sitting in the house. I think we're doing that east end of London, George. Hey, what are you talking about rainbows?
No, it's just like a sort of messed up rainbow, innit?
What's a messed up rainbow?
The Northern Lights. It's like you've blew up a rainbow. That's what it looks like.
Well, if you've never seen the Northern Lights, is the Northern Lights a fucked up rainbow? No, it's a completely different phenomenon. Because rainbows, so for instance, if you see a rainbow, where would the sun be if you were looking at a rainbow? If you were looking directly at a rainbow, where would the sun be?
Tap right.
No, it'd be behind you. The sun would be behind you. Right, because you know what a rainbow is?
It's a semicircle in the sky. Of course I know what a rainbow is.
What was it?
Well, it's like the particles in the air and the
refracted light particles and moist air with the sun.
Yeah,
going straight on.
It's an optical illusion.
Well, where it's an optical illusion, though, it's there. Right, other colours of spectrum coming out with the moisture, the sun shining on it. Right, and you will always be between the sun and a rainbow. You won't see it. Although the sun will always be behind you. Right, so it's a different phenomenon entirely. In the Northern Lights,
because there's no sun with
which are particles, which are coming from solar flares, solar storms.
And with a rainbow, then where does it all come from? That there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Why do they say
well, you
that?
know, that's the problem with the pots of gold, right? And I'm really looking, right? Because I've not got a pension, as you well know. And see the leprechauns, right? They bury their pots of gold. They're clever wee fuckers, right? But they make sure. See, when you just think you're on top of the rainbow, they fucking move it. It's like when you're trying to catch somebody in a dream, you can never catch them.
So we're going to turn the lights off and we're going to have a quick break, and then we'll be back with everything more on the Northern Lights. Now, before we look at even more incredible phenomena, we're going to have a look at a clip from our live show. You're quite happy to tell people to fuck off, though.
I fuck it, right? Fuck off. If I am confronted with Bob Aggery or rampant arseholery, then fuck off. Don't annoy me. It's absolutely. I think what you're alluding to is seeking validation from others.
Aye, because
you want people to like you.
Aye.
Now that's important when you're young, because you need your hole, right? That's important.
Remember to visit glesgadad.com for all information on our live shows, or click our bio link that will take you through to that site. And remember also to hit the bell button on YouTube and it will alert you when we put up a new video. So you could actually see the Northern Lights in the East End of Glasgow.
No, that was the disco lights at Celtic Park after that game.
And then the other thing that happened recently was this eclipse, total eclipse.
I never saw that. I was in... did you see it?
I saw it.
You saw it in Britain? Because I wasn't in Britain at the time.
Yeah.
I was on holiday.
But it's already dark anyway, it just goes a bit darker.
Do you no wonder at the world? Do you marvel at how beautiful the world is? Are you no grateful for this amazing life you've got?
I paid a fortune to see the terracotta warriors in China, and it just looked like loads of domes. Like garden gnomes.
See,
I just didn't
it's a sad thing. I think it's a sad thing. I think it's so typical of your generation. You're malcontents. You don't just stop and think, what a wonderful world we live in. What such beauty, such amazing things. You just go, it's fucking shite. It's shite. It's shite. Don't lift your head up anyway, going, it's shite, what's that? There's a bird with her tits out. Oh.
It's like a Great Wall of China, I saw that and I was like, aye, it's good, but it's just like...
It's good. Then it would just be the good Wall of China. It's the Great Wall of China. I mean, for fuck's sake. The Great Wall of China. You've been there.
Aye.
How many people would love to go in the Great Wall of China? He's been and he goes,
Aye, well, it was alright.
2,000 mile or something. How long is it?
Aye, it must be 2,000 mile or... I don't know, I only walked a wee bit and then I was like, I'll just go back to the bus. They're on the wall and I'm just sitting on the bus on my phone.
See, I saw the Grand Canyon through the bird's windows all night. Anyway.
I flew out of the Grand Canyon, a helicopter.
You flew out of the Grand Canyon, a helicopter. Look at the wonders you've seen.
So I had a champagne picnic in the Grand Canyon.
Hey.
So they flew, the helicopter landed near the picnic. The Grand Canyon, it was alright, you just get a photo taken and all that.
It's just a fucking hole in the ground, man. Fucking check the potholes out here. What's wrong with this place?
I went up the Sydney Bridge and had to get taken back because I was too scared. I get really bad.
I mean, look at the wonders you've seen.
Aye.
And you just go, as if you're too cool for school. You should go. You've built memories, amazing memories. You should be going, what an amazing life you've been given.
I've still not saw anything that I've thought incredible. Like, I've not saw anything.
Clearly. What's incredible?
Well, I've not saw anything.
What's incredible?
Well, people say, like, oh, you got to go to Great Wall or you got to see the Northern Lights, but there's nothing I've seen or experienced that I've thought, that's incredible.
No, you've never, ever, ever in all your life seen something incredible.
Nothing that I've thought, oh, I've got to
That's
tell someone.
incredible.
No.
You're a...
No.
Are you
The goal James McFadden scored against France, that was good. But that's probably the only time I thought that was good.
Archie Gemmell's goal in the 1978 World Cup was incredible. That was up there with McFadden's, if even better because of the circumstances. Because it was the World Cup and we were going to go through. If it kept going the way it was going.
Did you get through it?
No, we never get through. We've never qualified for the second phase in a World Cup or a major tournament. You know that?
No, I never knew that.
Scotland's never got into the second phase in a major tournament.
I never knew that. I thought before I was born we were awesome.
No. Oh, we were fucking awesome. But in a shitey way, right? Right, so the team in 74. The team in 74 was phenomenal. We had Dennis Law, but sadly the Lawman was at the end of his career. He had problems with his knees by 74. He wasn't the player. He was, in 64 he was European Footballer of the Year, right? In the 60s he was phenomenal. By 74, too many cortisone injections, knees were fucked. We had Jimmy Johnson. By 74, Jimmy, his great days was in the 60s. We had Danny McGrain in that team. We had Peter Lorimer. with Joe Jordan. Kenny Dalglish
Soonest.
was also... No. Soonest was 78. Soonest was in the 74 team. We had Billy Bremner. Now, people don't realise... What people remember is that dirty Leeds team, that bunch of hackers in the late 60s, early 70s, who were a hard team to play against, and they were known as Dirty Leeds, right? And because Billy Bremner was sent off in the Charity Shield match in 74 for fighting with Kevin Keegan, right? Because of that, Billy Bremner was always seen as a dirty player, but Billy Bremner was probably in the top 5 greatest players that ever pulled a strip on for Scotland. He was a phenomenal football player. But again, by 74, wee Billy, so they were an ageing team, and there was at least 5 or 6 world-class players in that team, but sadly had kind of come to the end of their careers. Jim Holton, 6'2", eyes are blue. Big Jim Holton's after you, but don't worry with his pace, he probably won't catch you. Tommy Hutchinson, Eric Shadler, John Blackley, David Harvey, the goalie. Fucking great unit. Donald Ford, Hearts player, was in that team.
Was like
Great
Frank
team.
McAvenny and all that in it? No,
Frank
that's later.
McAvenny was in the Scotland squad in 1986 in Mexico.
Oh, that's ages away then.
That was 12 years later. But McAvenny was probably only about 7 or 8 year old in 1974. But what a unit. Scotland's teams in the 70s, we had great teams with good teams. We just never quite made it.
So, stepping away maybe for the Northern Lights, what have you seen? Maybe a wonder of the world or whatever, you've thought, that's incredible.
I'll tell you what I've seen. That blew my mind. And it was only in 2020. I was in Titusville in Florida, as you know, and I saw the SpaceX Falcon rocket take off. I was 15 mile away from it, but I heard it, and it took off, and the rocket detached and fucking landed again back on the pad. That's incredible. I tell you what I saw, amazed me. I saw on the telly the first space shuttle Columbia, 1981 I think it was, or 1981 it would have been, 79, 80, 81. And for the first time ever, the space shuttle, it took off in this thing, and I saw it on the telly, and it was on like a Monday or Tuesday night on the telly, and there was this thing landing back on Earth. A reusable spacecraft that landed again. That had never been done before. They used to send these Saturn rockets up. Saturn V rockets. Saturn rockets, you see them in NASA. Fucking the length of 3 football pitches. Unbelievable, right? But the bits to get it up there would all go away and never kind of use them again. Reusable spacecraft. Amazing things. I tell you what was incredible. The 2005 European Cup final. Liverpool are dead and buried. 3-0 at half time. They come back out in the second half, fucking murder Inter Milan, score 3 against them after extra time and do them.
Can't be as good as the Man U coming back last minute.
Oh, 1999 European Cup final. And the 91 Scottish Cup final when Motherwell done Dundee United after extra time. Stevie Kirk, fantastic. Ali Maxwell's injured. Done them. That's incredible.
So see the SpaceX, is that Elon Musk's rocket?
That's Elon Musk.
Right. And you were 15 miles away?
15 mile watching it.
That was a cheap seat, was it? No. How much did that ticket cost you?
There's a water in between. You're not allowed anywhere near it.
Do you have to buy a ticket?
No. We just went there, and there was thousands of people. Just, you go. We bought some chairs out of the CVS for $5 and just sat there and watched it.
And so you say it went up and came down. Was it meant to do that?
Aye. It land. So the capsule went up to the International Space Station, or whatever it done.
And you sat the whole time?
But in the launcher, it only took an hour. So in the rocket, the booster, see, in the old days with the Saturn rockets, they'd go up and the booster would fall back to Earth. It's unusable. They're landing again, and they're being reused. The power they needed to get that up there is fucking unbelievable.
And then to precision get it back.
And get it back on the launch pad. Unbelievable. I've seen it with my own eyes. Because there's people on YouTube saying that's not real. I've seen it with my own eyes. But maybe I'm deluded. Maybe I was hypnotised. And maybe I wasn't in Titusville. Maybe I was sitting in the house and somebody came in and gave me a jag and reprogrammed my brain.
You've seen Bruce Springsteen and all that, haven't you?
3 times.
But about you too? You've not seen them yet?
I've seen U2, aye. I saw Eric Clapton, and that was pretty awesome. He was pretty awesome, just wanking his guitar, but I'm into that. But you've got to have a sense of wonder, joy, gratitude. The world's amazing. Amazing things in the world.
See, the Taj Mahal and all that, I couldn't be arsed with that.
Well, I've never been to India, and I don't imagine I'll ever go.
You've got enough IBS problems going to India.
No, there's no IBS in India. It's called Delhi Belly. That's what they call it. In Mexico, it's called Montezuma's Revenge. Right. But in Delhi, what they do, it was somebody I was speaking to, another comedian. So he was in Mumbai, sorry. So he was doing the Comedy Store. And he went like that. He says, don't drink the water. Right. So you're in the third world. Don't drink the water. And he said, because you got a cup of tea in the hotel. And what happened was, after he drunk the tea, and by the way, how he described it's terrifying, because what happened was, he says, you're just walking along the street. Normally, if you have to have a shit, you get a warning. You go, oh, I'm going to need a shit. Maybe you've got 5-10 minutes to find a toilet. Woof, why? That's it. That's it. Oh, I need a shit. Hey, you shit your trousers. You just shit your trousers. Now, in Mexico, it's called Montezuma's Revenge. Montezuma, he was the king of the Aztecs who get wiped out by Cortez and the Spanish or whatever. Now, but see, in these third world countries, and by the way, in the Caribbean and all that, you drink the water, so you can get a drink and see even the ice cubes, which is made for the local water. Even that, you go for your dinner, you're having a nice meal, and then you go, hold it, and it.
So what you meant to do then?
Nothing. Shit yourself. See, it's all about. As we're always saying, some things you can't control. So if you're able. If you're able to get to a toilet in time, that's fine. But if with Delhi Belly and Montezuma's Revenge, no warning. Your arse is opening, and the world's falling out your arse, and there's nothing. You've not even got time to get your breeks done. You've not even got time. It's like that scene in Bridesmaids, where they'll go to that dodgy restaurant and they'll eat that mad meat, and they'll end up bolting their ring and shitting their breeks. I mean, that's the funniest scene in a movie ever.
No, I said I've not been like totally blown away by anywhere. I think if I went to Peru to see the Machu Picchu.
Machu Picchu, well, my mate's been there, and he said it's pretty amazing.
There's meant to be a mountain beside it that's like the sort of Groupon version.
Is there?
If you got it in Wish or something. And it's meant to be just as good but not as busy.
Right, that's the Peruvian version of the Campsies.
Aye.
Right.
But you wouldn't want to fly all the way there and go to the... You want to do the
No,
real
you want to
deal.
do the real mountain. Aye, but you probably got a helicopter up, you lazy fucker.
Well, folk do that.
Aye, you'd have to get a helicopter up and have a champagne picnic and go like that.
Take a selfie.
Yeah, Machu Picchu, seat of the gods. Fine, can we go back to the hotel now? I need to check my Facebook. No, one of the best tours I ever had actually is one of these Belfast taxi tours to see the murals and all that and go around all the districts. Now, the guy, he says it's 35 quid for an hour, but the guy ends up fucking kidnapping you for 4 or 5 hours. And by the way, it's phenomenal, right? He shows you stuff that blows your mind, right? He takes you to this museum and all that. I can't remember what it was called. There was some social club he took us to, and there was all this stuff, a bed out the Maze prison and all this stuff. He takes you up to the cemetery. He shows you all the murals. And it's not £35 at the end of the journey. And they're wide as fuck, and you think...
You're not arguing with him.
You go, well, it's not £35. We've been 5 hours, I say, end up giving the guy 80 quid. So you kind of get kidnapped, and they're a bit naughty, and it's a bit wide, but 5 hours in this maniac's taxi, you know, and it was incredibly... And I've read a lot about the Troubles. So we were discussing a lot of politics, and you know that whole thing all rings my bell. So it was fine. But it's no everybody's cup of tea. Getting kidnapped in a Belfast taxi for 5 hours.
I had a horrible time in Belfast. I went in one of these hop-on, hop-off buses.
I've done that, I know, they're good.
And but the Queen was visiting Belfast, and there was snipers everywhere.
Right.
And there was obviously
I should have let them know you were on that hop-on, hop-off. They say, shoot him right between the eyes.
Aye.
There's a sniper. So why was it horrible?
Because it was just protests. No Queen in Belfast and all that sort of stuff. And they were all like hitting the...
No Queen in Belfast. No, I can see the point. There was something written on the wall that said, no Pope in Denison. As if he's going to come down Duke Street and go, oh fuck, they don't want me here. As if the Pope is going to turn up and go to Denison for, I don't know, a Chinese takeaway or something. Anyway.
Now, before we wrap this up, here's one of the clips that you decided was the best from last week. Dad, have you ever heard of Mr. Beast?
Shh, we don't talk about your Uncle Tom anymore. Fuck off. Right, for more information and to get tickets for any of our live shows, including our run this August at the Edinburgh Fringe, go to glesga.com. glesga.com, and on the YouTube channel, click on the wee bell and subscribe to it. Subscribe to it so you can find out when the new podcast coming online and any wee shorts we might put out. And follow us on Facebook and on Twitter, X, and all the other platforms.
And remember, if you enjoyed this, tell your friends, but if you didn't,
fuck you off.